that Jeff a viable option.
And Madara is going to be there on the EMEA as we start up once more. Haluk is going to be there for the Venom, which is very low and does fall as amazing. We've seen a ton of play here on the Phoenix, and I personally love this Phoenix skin. My personal favorite Phoenix skin here, and they are taking priority on point up a number. Make it 2 numbers.
I mean, yeah. Best Phoenix skin as chosen, as dictated by Rhyming.
Looking like a Namor turret, just not missing anyone in those moments. Looking very clean, just a ton of damage out, already ready for that combination with velocity for the damage boost. Song Inferno tries to cap point, at least driving them back towards point, but not going to be for long as Jeff goes up.
What are we doing?
It's huge, and it is going to find 3, I believe it does. Reverse coming in, finding velocity. Joker bringing back the entire army, everybody on the point now. Oh, Darkzerro a millisecond away from capping, but good retouch here by Extinction. Out goes the invisible boundary. Velocity now going to bring out the dance sword. Fate of both worlds. Biblical committing here with the Galactic Legend, but still it is not going to be able to get anyone through that dance floor. The point is still being hold here. Yeah, reverses all could be massive once more. Right, amazing potential of someone like Reverse again with another huge ult. Will start up once more. Ult up for Haluk, and here it comes. Feast of the Abyss onto the back line. Going to bring them down to nothing, and their follow-up is there as Biblical gets one. Right, amazing onto Legacy. Smash onto Joker. Smash again. Biblical onto Right, amazing. Putting the numbers back. Joker going to res back, so that number did not count. Again, 99% here for the Kidnap. Great timing, and it goes to show you the portal doesn't need to be fully formed. It's the instant you click it, you can still get that Kidnap to happen. Practice those. They do find value, I'm telling you. And wow, what an early start here. Again, taking the point and trying to maintain it as the ticker begins halfway there.
That's pretty huge. Madara's pick is even bigger, though. Legacy goes down. Joker falls, but he has
charge on shields. This Legacy throws out that eye. Doesn't seem to land on very many. Biblical ready with the Galactic Legend to start up this next fight. Here it goes.
Yeah, there's nothing against it, too. No soul bond to stay alive versus it. You do have freedom charge, though. There it is to save everybody. And Jeff, he does get one on the backside. Met by Song finally from Rye. Gets the connection that he was desperately looking for.
Yeah, there is no more bubble to buy that initial impact damage, which can help take out Jeff. Right, amazing using that animation cancel for the melee. There's that tackle. Ton of damage goes out, and very low. When you have that Star-Lord, Phoenix can kind of do the same thing and does have value with those neutral picks as we saw early on in map 1. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It's really not working as much right now. Out goes Eye, and it is not going to get too much value. In we come with Right, amazing once again. That one does not land, but now Jeff has a free reign here on that. Is Jeff. Right, amazing going to find Haluk. The res comes out. Velocity. Joker bringing back Riku and Haluk. The repositioning play here from the side of Darkzerro on the offside. Out goes Reverse. Does find a few, I believe, but does fall to Right, amazing with some insane aim. Again, the Namor turret, but mostly a duelist, if you can believe that. Haluk going to drop to the low side. Just play life as Impunity gets the first pick on Reverse here. Kurova onto Joker, and look at these swings, how fast Cap can go after it once you learn those animation cancels. Now we're just going to buy time as everybody's pressing the Q button. Madara going to get people walking, but it does not do too much as inside of Jeff is a 2-piece. Might have to commit here. 2 seconds. They both have ways to get back on the map, and instead Biblical is actually going to fall, and Legacy going to do the same to retake and try to get a portal play back, but I'm not sure they can. No, it is a 1-1 series on domination. Once Phoenix came out, resorted back over to the hit scan, and now just looks super dominant. So yeah, absolutely we can play hit scan, but no doubt. But during stage 1 we saw that switch up a little bit towards the Namor. But we begin again, and we do have the freedom charge ready for Impunity, and that could lead them in. They do elect to do that, walking forward. Eye of Agamotto goes out, but that does not find anyone, and they collapse heavy on the back line. Impunity all over the place here on this Cap, who could be incredibly quick. Right, amazing holding up on the high side, waiting. He's biding time again. And
you know, rely heavily on that soul bond. You see they're using this cooldown so early. Here's another freedom charge aggression play by Darkzerro.
Bang, and down we go again. We do see no major follow-up off it. Instead does burn those cooldowns. Biblical going to be on the Phoenix now as well. 88% to ult. Virtually everyone on Extinction besides Reverse will have ult in this next fight. And we see Madara is going to fall at 99%. Unfortunate there. Velocity is going to have that dance floor to buy time, but they don't need to use it now as they're at 99%. It's all about winning just one fight now as a unit. Impunity. Yes, goodbye to Velocity. Good play there as Ryan Amazing keeps the damage up. But once again, 50% roughly here for Extinction.
Yeah, I mean, Extinction has used every ult, though. Joker preemptively used that res, so this might be a tough fight to come up. Darkzerro can go aggressive with the Capel. Also, that Jeff has been a big thorn in the side of Darkzerro. Now that's removed because Reverse used that at the end of the fight. So no ultimate except Venom up in a second here. They're going to have to wait out even 2 Strat ults for Darkzerro. This can be hard to live if you're Extinction.
Yeah, good call out there. As the City and Amazing, that combination of damage boost could be a team wipe. We'll see how it shakes out right here as they start out. Impunity onto Juker. Juker may have the self-res, not sure if he does. Smash on a Riku. Matter on a Biblical. And everyone is falling.
Oh, but a really, really tough over the Jeff stuff because
out even more aggression here with Pocket from the side of Amazing, who's putting a ton of damage out on the field and staying completely healthy. And as I say that, almost falls, but does use that escape tool. Another one of the things of why time. And that is what we saw here earlier in our set 3. But can they push it all the way? Because this is very much like we've seen a map that can get pushed to OT and favors momentum.
The look is on Phoenix because of some swaps to spawn to TP from spawn. The originator of Here in My Garage. If you think about it, you're right. You know, making nothing from a scrap of nuts and bolts. Smash gets it done. Riku and them fall. Surely they switch things up. He'll look back over to that Magneto. But the
Dara, Kurova going to bring back Impunity and Madara once more. Amazing going to find Juker. Biblical goes up onto Amazing, and Kurova bringing back Amazing as everybody is back in the fight now. What do you know? Juker resin himself. Impunity on the reverse now, walking them back. And will this be enough for them to take point? 2 meters still on as they're holding this space with the Supernova out, trying to buy some zone. Smash onto the back line. That is going to take out Juker. Amazing.
3 minutes is a pretty damn good time bank shiv in this last point for Extinction. You know, they're going to need to play fast. They're going to need to play quick with Biblical now, who's on Star-Lord, but he goes down to Madara.
And Madara finding that pick early. Again, you need to see a momentum shift you want to hold here. This is one of those points that you can really steamroll Kurova, doing what Kurova does. Really strong Warlock player. Going to take out Legacy and Haluk, and still holding on as Juker finds Velocity now. Numbers still up. Kurova, why don't you make it 3 onto Juker with the Ultron. It's a rare pairing, but when you have aim like these folks do, might as well make use of it. Just a ton of poke damage, and they're finding so much value in the neutral. Amazing onto Juker. That is a pick that is necessary to start off this fight up in numbers once again. Spin to win here for Biblical with that Blaster Barrage, just trying to build all back. Does not accommodate for this triple strategist composition meta, if you will, as that is going to be a full push there for Darkzerro. Again, really showing work of how strong they are on some of these more niche heroes. This combination of poke is insane, especially when you have Torch, like we're saying, just always
commit. But on the high ground, everybody's here trying to ready to get set up for Haluk's side, but they're being met by Darkzerro.
And this is one of those dive potentials ready to make a dunk play. Bang, down very low. The whole team at that point. It is going to knock completely off the high side. See how just raw damage right there on the Legacy. Already very low. He's going to be healed up, though, as the focus goes away. Kurova going to... Yeah, and there is that Supernova at the back line again. A ton of time being bought here. 2 minutes 24 available left for Extinction on the attack. Have not moved the point at all just yet. Spin win is going to be difficult, but using that shield cooldown from Indus with the team up is going to help counteract that a bit. Smash going to start with the Ultron's Rage, just dealing a ton of damage, but won't be enough to make anything happen in that moment. Out goes the invisible boundary here by Velocity. Madara is going to use...
Body block it. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is insane. The confidence right now for Amazing off the charts, who is just doing some wild things. Amazing playing lights out in this moment. If he gets his pick as well. Oh my goodness. That is wild to witness. Amazing playing, again, lights out, and just that kind of confidence, I tell you, with Duelist, when you're playing like that, and when you think you can get it done very low, might fall, does fall there from Biblical, but when you're playing with that kind of confidence, it's difficult to stop it. And that's the downside to going in immediately into an Emma from Legacy, who finds that tackle. At this point, there's 2 seconds on. Can they get this hold? They are starting to. Darkzerro trying to make sure the defense stays, and it looks like it will. OT ticking down. Will the portal come through? It does not. Darkzerro hold on at point 1 and take this home 2-0. That is more than the entirety of the opposition. Kurova with 10, right behind Madara there with 11. I mean, it's, again, like I said, was on this team.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is every team is going to have now, some teams can play a traditional 2-2. Darkzerro that has to be